Joining us now, Republican Congressman from Florida, Mike Haridopolos. Good morning to you, and thanks as always for joining us. What are you hearing? How likely can they reach some sort of agreement today to avoid this?
Well, let's hope common sense takes the day. As was mentioned just right there, all we're doing is voting on the exact same thing we did back in March when the Democrats agreed to this plan, a continuation for the next few weeks to make sure that we make the right decisions for a budget deal. It's a common sense idea, as was mentioned. 13 times Democrats said yes to continuing resolutions, which simply says we move forward in negotiations and we keep the government open for the common sense idea that we finally have some great economic news as the economy is growing now at 3.8%. We have a static inflation rate. We see lowering of the interest rates. We need to keep the government open so we can continue this economic turnaround after 4 years of inflation.
What's in your mind is different this time that seems to be coming right up against the deadline, whereas this moved forward in March?
Well, it's very frustrating. As you know, last week we voted to actually keep the government open in the House. That's what we did. We even had bipartisan support as a Democrat joined us in the common sense idea. I know that Fetterman, the senator from Pennsylvania, also believes the government should simply stay open. It's a common sense thing to do. I think this is purely politics. I had a debate the other night with another member from a Democrat side, and their idea was we want to stand up to Trump. This is not about politics. This is about people who want to get their checks for serving in the military, let alone who earn Social Security, just common sense things that keep the government open. They want to play politics. All we want to do is to get a deal so that we can continue this economic turnaround because people really got hard hit the last 4 years of failed policies.
What would you say to people who are watching this at home and saying, here we go again, another potential government shutdown? Government doesn't work. This just kicks the can down the road. How can that be addressed so that we don't continue to find ourselves in these shutdown showdowns?
Yeah, I'm like you, Marni. I'm a new member of Congress. When I served in the legislature in Florida, we balanced budgets, finished on time, and it's incredibly frustrating to see how political this town is, but that's the nature of the beast. But let's be clear here. We voted last week in the House to actually move forward. Right now, it will take Democrat votes led by Chuck Schumer to keep the government open. Republicans are ready to move forward. And again, this is a short-term deal. This is not the final deal. This is just a short-term, approximately 7-week measure to try to work things out as we think long-term. But we're not going to give away the common sense ideas we passed back in July. We're not going to say we're going to give health care to illegal aliens when people are already struggling to pay for their own health care. We're not going to give able-bodied people free health care when people are paying $1,000 a month for their own and then have to subsidize that. To us, that's not common sense. Let's move forward. It's a smart thing to do. I think the hypocrisy shows on the other side after all the video I think we've all seen about how they said shutting down the government's such a bad idea. And all they're trying to do is appeal to their most liberal, radical base at this point. We want to solve problems. Mike Johnson's done a great job of rallying Republicans to keep the government open. That's why I want to be here to get things done as opposed to playing politics.
Congressman Haridopolos, thank you for your time this morning.